They asked 17,500 adults about their history of exposure to what they called adverse childhood experiences, or ACEs. The higher your ACE score, the worse your health outcomes. For a person with an ACE score of 4 or more, their relative risk of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease was 2.5 times that of someone with an ACE score of 0. For hepatitis, for depression, for suicidality, lung cancer, of ischemic heart disease, the #1 killer in the United States of America.
To attempt suicide, to become an alcoholic, COPD, liver disease, asthma.
Carrying that weight of emotional pain literally rips and fractures our DNA. Of the 10 leading causes of early death in this country, 7 of them are heavily influenced by psychological injuries.
In order to maintain survival, Black people have integrated trauma responses into the culture. White supremacy is the bear. So for example, respectability politics, trauma response, hustle, trauma response.
People who are addicted to drugs are addicted to drugs because of their pain. It's just because they've suffered some trauma. Psychotic disorders, bipolar disorder, border personality disorder, depression.
The trauma that Black women hold in our bellies and bones that has been embedded in our very DNA. They didn't acknowledge the systemic racism that she had dealt with since birth.
The hippocampus is working on overdrive while also being flooded with these stress hormones. Researchers have found that the constant flood of these stress hormones cause volume changes and remodeling in the hippocampus.
It says release stress hormones, adrenaline, cortisol.
An epic neurochemical boxing match in which the stress hormones and the joy hormones are vying for primacy.
Slowly, over time, it will kill you.
When trauma stresses the nervous system, it disconnects the head from the heart. That's why you can't find safety in your logical mind.
They affect brain structure and function. They affect the developing immune system, developing hormonal system.
And the brain reacts to this trauma and develops different.
Adverse childhood experiences are like a dose of poison. Has 20 years less life expectancy.
We're more likely to die 20 years younger than our counterpart.
And a 20-year difference in life expectancy.
And literally wiring the brain.
It remodels and rewires the brain.
And she's 12 times as likely to attempt to take her own life as my patient with 0 ACEs. I know that when she's in my exam room.
Trauma cannot be remembered.
So we owe an incredible debt of gratitude to Dr. Bezel van der Kolk and his colleagues.
For most of us, it's still an unknown epidemic.
Some of the world's biggest public health and economic development challenges of our time.
Adverse childhood experiences are the single greatest unaddressed public health threat facing our nation today.
So being trauma-informed is something that we all have an interest in. Thank you.